Hi, I'm Willie Mayette from pianowithwillie.com. I want to welcome you to this lesson on Ben's Blues and a jazz piano snapshot. All right, now what you're going to learn in this lesson is you're going to learn exactly what I just played there, okay? So you're going to learn the melody of Ben's Blues. I'm going to show you how to do the bass line down here. We're also going to talk about these rootless chord voicings. So you're going to be able to play these rootless chord voicings. I'm going to show you how to play the rootless chord voicings while also playing the bass line in the left hand. And we're also going to break down some improvisation as well. So you'll be able to work through different improvisation licks. Okay? If you've never improvised before, don't worry. This course breaks it down very, very simply. We're going to go through different scales. We're going to go through different rhythms. Going to show you how to use the vocalization approach on rhythm that I've created to make it very easy for you to be able to create your own improvisation and then link it to your bass line. And then finally, we're going to put it all together in our arrangement, in our head solo head, and we're going to do exactly like I just did. We're going to play the song, we're going to improvise, and we're going to play the song again. So this is a great snapshot of jazz piano. You're going to get bass lines, you're going to get chords, you're going to get comping, you're going to get the melody stuff, you're going to get your 12-bar blues, you're going to get improvisation, you're going to learn about chord tensions, you're going to learn about different rhythms. There's a lot of information in here that you're going to learn about, and we're going to deal a lot with improvisation, playing and resting, and then most important at the end, I'm going to talk to you about some different practicing techniques as well. All right, so if you wanted to skip right to that practice techniques, you could take a look at that as well, right? Because that's going to be some very important material for you moving forward, okay? All right, so here's the first ending, and I gotta say this is probably one of my favorite parts of the song because this lick is just really cool. Let me play it for you. Isn't that cool? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do it without the grace notes, and then we're going to add in some grace notes. So 3 and 5, or sometimes I do 2 and 4 as well. So it's really dependent upon what's most comfortable for your hand. So then down to the thumb, 3 and 5, 2 and 4, then 3 and 5. Okay, so let's just break this up a little bit. Okay, so 3 and 5 to 3 and 5. Now I have written here 4 and 2. You could do that as well. That fingering is fine. But I like the 3 and 5, okay, as well. So what I'm saying is you can do 3 and 5, 3 and 5, or 4 and 2, 4 and 2. It's completely up to you. Or 3 and 5, 4 and 2. All right? 5, 3, 4, 2. So see how we keep coming back to the C? C, C, and then 4 and 2, 3 and 5. Let's just work that section. So 4 and 2, up to 3 and 5. That might be a little bit challenging for you depending on how much piano you've been, how long you've been playing the piano. If that's challenging for you and you start to get tense, just keep working it. This would be a nice technical exercise. Do this, just 4, 5, 10 times a day. You can also break them up like that, just for an exercise, not for the song. And you just keep practicing that. Or you could do the 4 and 2. Now see what I did there? Before going to the G, I hit the G flat. And again, it's one of those grace notes in which it's just real fast. You don't do. So it's almost like you're hitting the G and G flat at the same time. Just real quick. You should feel pressure on the pad of your finger, but you shouldn't feel pain on the sides. If you're feeling pain on the sides, that means you're hitting the next key. And then the chords underneath that are C, A, D, G. So let's just keep doing that. All right, I want to talk about some syncopation and comping basics. All right, there's a lot that you can get into in this, but let's just talk some, basics for right now. Syncopation basically is when you are anticipating, all right, a chord, right, and when you have notes that are on the beat and off the beat. So basically, it's an alternation of on the beat and off the beat, right? So if I just played 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. All of the groupings of notes are starting on a beat. Even though I have some eighth notes in there, I have an eighth note before it that starts on the beat. So everything is very much downbeat heavy. Syncopation would be more like 1, 2, Okay, and this is where I start to bring in my upbeats. So I have 1 and 2 and ba, ba, ba. All right, now one way of starting to feel this is to use your vocalization like we were talking about before. D, ba, D, ba, D, ba, D, ba. So play some of them on D, ba, so hit them on the D, or hit D, ba, but then also hit some of them on the ba alone. So D, ba, 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 D. D ba 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 D ba. So can you feel some of those upbeat ones? Now if I start to just say the D bas soft to myself, now I get this kind of sound. Okay? Now when I start to apply this to those chords, that starts to really sound hip at that point. Because now what I'm doing is I'm syncopating and I'm anticipating those chords in the right hand. So let's just talk some basic patterns that you can use to get kind of that sound right away. So we already know we could do them on the downbeat. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But now try doing this. Try coming in just before the downbeat. So 1, see how? Okay, so last chapter we were talking about just jumping right into the improvisation, and we said that, it might still be kind of difficult. And one of the reasons that it's still kind of difficult is because there's still a lot of notes to the scale, especially if, you're doing that blues scale there, right? You got 6 notes there, okay? You got 5 notes with the pentatonic scale. You still got a lot of notes there to choose from, right? Just like it was difficult when, you didn't have any rhythm to choose from. You had too many choices. So now we're going to break down the choices that you have available to you scale-wise, okay? And what I've done is I've created these scale blocks. So just you have 1 block, 2 blocks. You have an A block and a B block. And basically all that we're doing is we're breaking our scale in half. So on our minor pentatonic scale, we have these notes and we have these notes. So our first scale block is just the first 3 notes of that scale. So it's... Okay, so, and we play 1, 2, 3. Okay, if you want to, you could try playing that bass line while just doing that. If that's still too difficult, don't worry, we're going to break it down even more and show you some licks, all right? But for right now, you can try that if you want. The second scale block, the B block on the minor pentatonic is these top 3 notes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's your fingering. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? All right, now on the blues scale, it's a little bit different. Here we have a 4-note block. So it's C, E flat, F, and G flat, F sharp, right? And we use 1, 2, 3, 4 as our fingering. And then the second block is 1, 2, 3, right? But now what we do is we go up to the next note in that blues scale, which would be E flat. So we still have another 4-note block. Because remember, the blues scale ends there, but if I kept going with the scale, what would happen? Right? That's the next note in the scale. So all I'm doing is I'm playing a 4-note block here and a 4-note block there. 4 notes, 4 notes. The minor pentatonic was 3 and 3. 4 and 4 for the blues scale. And when we play those blocks, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I would do just that. I would start with just blocking them out, just like that. Play all the notes, mash them all down together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So, make sure you can play both of those scale blocks, both variations on the minor pentatonic and also the blues scale. So you have 4 different blocks there. The minor pentatonic A block, minor pentatonic B block, blues scale A block, blues scale B block. I'll see you in the next chapter. All right, so now we're going to create some minor pentatonic licks. This is where the rubber meets the pavement, okay? So we have these different scale blocks, right? The minor pentatonic, the A block, and the B block, and we have also our rhythm. So now what I've done is here you see lick P1, that's for pentatonic 1. You see the A block. What I'm doing is I'm taking that rhythm number 1, D, ba, D, ba, D, ba, and I'm applying the notes of that first minor pentatonic scale block. Now, how I apply the notes, I always think simple. Just start at the bottom and go up. So D, ba, D, ba, D, ba, right? So I got D, ba, D, ba, D, ba. So I could have gone D, ba, D, ba, D, ba, like that. I decided to do something a little bit more fancy and did D, ba, D, ba, D, ba. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. Right? So again, I'm taking the notes from that A block of the minor pentatonic scale. I'm taking the rhythm, and I'm just applying notes to that rhythm. I started on C. Did I have to start on C? Absolutely not. I could have started on another note, and you'll see that in some of the other licks, okay? But here I decided to start on C. I could have also just gone D, ba, D, ba, D, ba, but that's kind of boring, isn't it? Or D, ba, D, ba, D, ba, boring as well. It's nice to have the 3 notes. So now I have a lick. D, ba, D, ba, D, ba. Now I can create some call and response. Remember, call and response is, you have a phrase and then there's some phrase that responds to that, right? Very common in jazz, that call and response pattern. So I could take the same pattern, this is what's so cool about these scale blocks, take the exact same pattern and just move it up to the B block. And then I get 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. So I just got 2 licks. I call this lick P2, pentatonic 2. So you notice it's exactly the same shape between those 2 licks. The notes are different because I'm going from the minor pentatonic A block to the minor pentatonic B block. But the shape and the rhythm of those licks are exactly the same. D, ba, D, ba, D, ba is the rhythm, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. Okay? Now look what happens here in lick P3, all right?